When did I start going to Big Meadows with y'all?
Well, we went that for a lot of years. You know, we'd
Yeah.
go every summer. I like that. We'd go out and watch the deer come out. And that was really something to see there, to see
Yeah.
the deer. That was nice. I like that.
How did you have all that time? Every day y'all pick us up from school?
We do it every day.
Yeah.
And do something.
Yep, when we were in elementary school.
We really did. We did that for a long time.
Go see the goat man.
Lived by the railroad track.
Yeah. You know, one place, man had a monkey down there.
Yeah, I remember that too.
We used to do a lot of things with you and Chris.
Yeah, that made Mama, she could take care of Craig then.
How much difference in you and Craig?
I thought it was 5 years between you.
Well, it might be 5. How old's Craig?
Craig is 44 this year, I think.
All right, I'm 49, so it is 5 years between us.
Yeah.
So, Granny, did you used to have a horse when you were a kid? Did you have your own horse?
Had a mule I worked all the time. I worked that particular mule. I like that one better than I did the other one.
No, did you have a horse when you were a kid? Did you have a?
No, I was scared of horses.
Oh, you were?
Only reason I rode a horse was easier than walking.
Yeah, we would, when I was going to school, Daddy, I walked the first couple of years, but then we started to another school and Daddy drove the wagon. We didn't have a buses, they had wagons. Right. And it was all cold days. Our Mama would heat bricks and wrap them up in blankets or paper for us to put our feet on till we get to school. Keep our feet from freezing.
Well, how far was school? How far away was that?
That was a regular way we had to go in the wagon.
Oh, 6 to 8 miles.
That is a long way. So how long did it take in a wagon? Like an hour or so to get there?
Yeah, I really would, because the horses went very fast. Right. And we did that for a long time. Went to school in a wagon, and then they got a bus. And then we rode the bus, and Daddy drove the bus. And then when Daddy stopped driving, and then Mama drove the bus.
I remember Granny.
Yeah,
I remember her.
The bus
she was a bus driver.
So she was way up.
Yeah.
Before she stopped driving.
So, Granddaddy, when you used to work on the farm when you were a kid, what did you have to do? Did you have to work before you went to school?
Have to do what?
Did you have to work on the farm before you went to school?
Yeah. Get up in the morning. I've got up in the morning many times. Put the mule to the mower, go in and cut hay before I go to school, and come back at night, take a rake and rake it up.
Oh, he worked hard for a while.
For a while.
Yeah, I mean, while he was on the farm. It was just he and his daddy.
Yeah, and
After his mother died.
I cooked breakfast for a pop of milk.
So you cooked for your daddy too?
Yeah, Floyd did
I done all the cooking. And I had to make biscuits. There was no such thing as loaf bread.
Right.
Had to make biscuits twice a day.
What was your mama's name, Granddaddy?
Georgiana.
What was your grandmother's name?
Indy.
Indy? What was Granny's name?
My mother?
Yeah.
Ivy Pearl.
And what was your grandmother's name?
Estelle. I think it was Virginia.
Did you know both your grandmothers?
Yeah.
You knew both of them?
Yeah. One of them we called Little Grandma because she was thin as a rail. We called the other one Big Grandma because she was so big. That's how we told them apart. Little Grandma and Big Grandma.
I like the name Indy. I think that's a really neat name.
But
Indy.
Yeah.
That was a really.
I had a cousin named Indy.
I like that. That's a neat name.
Just died last year. She lived in Seattle, Washington.
And how old was she?
She was 10 years older than me.
Good God.
So she would have been, if she lived, she'd have been,
She'd been way up in the 90s.
yeah.
Where did y'all live in Richmond when you and Nanny first lived downtown? Where'd y'all live?
We had to move every September.
Why?
That was the rule.
You'd get a little bit better apartment.
Oh, okay.
Everybody moved every September. And
We lived on Parkwood Avenue. We lived on Idlewood Avenue.
on Grayland Avenue.
Lived on Grayland. Lived on Stafford Avenue.
Yes.
I'm on Hanover Avenue.
Good
We
golly.
There's about 6 different places in Richmond we live. But we moved
Every September.
And one time we moved across the street. And we didn't hire anybody to move us. We carried our furniture across the street.
Street.
At that time, we lived upstairs, and Roy and Nancy lived downstairs. We moved across the street. We moved downstairs, and they went upstairs.
We lived with that couple, Nancy and Roy Childs,
Yeah.
for years. And we all moved in September. And we lived together. One lived upstairs and one down.
Yeah.
So we'd switch. Sometimes they'd go upstairs, and next year we'd go downstairs.
So did they have children?
Had a daughter,
They had one daughter.
4 months different her and your mama.
Oh, okay, so they played together
and
a lot.
both of the children were born while we were living together.
Oh, well, that's neat.
Nancy was born. They were living upstairs that time, and Nancy was born. And then Betty was born, and we lived downstairs.
So who did you work after Mama was born?
I worked on, not in Woolworth, not where I was working, we got married.
Right.
But after we got married, and we lived over on one of those streets, up on near Carey Street.
Yeah.
I made Easter baskets at one of the 5 and 10 cent stores.
Uh-huh.
And I just worked usually at Easter and would make Easter baskets.
No, she was working downtown, and I was working at King and Company. I got off at 4 o'clock, and she worked till 6. That thing went on for 3 or 4 months, or maybe almost a year. Either you gonna stay home, and I'm gonna work, or I'm gonna stay home and you gonna work. I'm not coming home to an empty house.
So you ended
So
up
I
quitting.
decided to quit.
That was a good choice, Nanny.
Yeah, I thought I'd quit and let him work.
So what grade did you go to school, Nanny? What was the last grade you went to in school?
I graduated at Glen Allen.
Okay, Glen Allen.
Uh-huh. I graduated 2nd year in the new Glen Allen school.
So what year was that?
It was either 25 or 26. I don't know.
So how many people were in your class?
About 8 or 10.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big class. None of them are living. I'm the only one living.
So you went to the Glen Allen school that's on Mountain Road now.
Yeah.
And you came all the way there from the house Granny lived in that I used to go up?
No, she lived with Stella then.
Oh, okay.
Oh, when I went to Glen Allen, I
You lived
lived
with
in
Stella?
the house with Stella.
Okay.
Yeah. And I lived there during the winter, during the school months.
Okay.
And because I lived in Hanover, and if you lived in Hanover, you couldn't go to school in Henrico.
Okay.
So that's why I lived during the winter down there and went to school at Glen Allen. Well, now that school, you know, is an art center.
Yeah, that's an
now.
art center now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when Uncle Percy, somebody used to talk about the boats that would come in at Walkerton with like the pianos playing on the boats.
Yeah.
All right, what was that? Who?
Uncle Percy
Somebody was a ship captain or something. Who
used
was?
to talk about the boats that came in, you know.
Oh, everything come by boat.
But was somebody a ship captain or something in the family?
Woman's brother owned the boat.
Okay. Your brother owned a boat?
No, no.
No, his mother's brother. So his
Yeah.
uncle owned a boat.
Yeah, that was all down at his home.
Okay. And where was your home, Granddaddy?
Walkerton.
Walkerton. That's where you're from.
Uh-huh.
King and Queen.
In Queen, Walkerton. It's Walkerton's where you're from.
Yeah.
And where are you from, Nanny?
I wasn't far from Ashland in
Okay.
Hanover.
Okay. So you grew up on the river, Granddaddy?
No.
You weren't close to
Lived
the
about
river?
a couple of miles from the river, but we went there every weekend.
Did you go swimming every weekend at the
Never
river?
went swimming in my life.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't swim. Did your brothers or sisters ever swim?
No,
Nobody ever swam in your family.
no.
I don't
You
swim
don't
either.
swim in the Mountain Eye River, no way.
Right.
That current's so strong you can't swim in it.
So, but you always fished.
Yeah, we fished, my dad and I, we fished every Saturday from beginning in May and through September. And we fished in the afternoon. We worked like a devil in the morning.
But you fished every afternoon?
So we get there. And in the wintertime we went hunting. He and I hunted every afternoon.
But just on Saturday though, didn't
Just
So
Saturday.
you and
Yeah,
your
that-
dad were real close.
Yeah. I never heard him raise his voice at me in my life.
So he must have been a good boy.
You must have been a good boy. Well, Brenda, you don't yell too much either. Every now and then, but you don't fuss. You've never fussed a lot. All right, Granny, when you played sports, what sports did you used to play tennis, you told me?
I played a little tennis. I never played too much tennis. I like to play basketball and baseball.
But where would you play basketball at? Who had,
At school,
didn't you break your nose?
yeah, playing basketball.
And how old were you?
About 12, 14.
Did you go to the doctor?
No.
Okay.
Broke my arm playing too and didn't go to the doctor.
So you just didn't go to the doctors back then when you got hurt?
I broke my arm and I didn't go home from school. I stayed at school till it closed. And my sister was going to Walker and driving a horse and buggy, and she come by and picked me up and carried me home. The doctor come down next afternoon and looked at it.
Did he have to set it?
He done something to it, and we had a cat in a sling. I went for years and couldn't put my hand up here like this. To fasten my collar, I used to get my hand, take my hand, put it around here, catch it in my collar and pull it around like this, because I couldn't get it up there.
When did you start being able to use it?
Fell another time and
You fell and fixed it?
Straightened it out.
So did you ever get hurt bad, Nanny, when you were a kid?
No, I don't remember ever getting.
I didn't call it I hurt bad.
So you
I
saw
went on-
people get hurt bad and have doctors have to come?
No, I don't think I
When the
ever.
doctor come, most of the time he was riding a horse.
Yeah,
And they brought their own medicine with them.
Yeah, they
right.
always had
Mix their
medicine.
own medicine up and
Yeah,
stuff?
you didn't have to go to the drugstore to get medicine back in those days.
Yeah,
They had the medicine with them in the little black case.
yeah.
First car I ever had, my dad never owned a car in his life.
Yeah.
Never no any mechanized equipment. He had a piece of land over there and told me, said, if you cultivate that piece of land and plant it, you can have what you make on it. And I planted in beans. Had those beans cut and all when he did his and sold them and got money to buy a car.
So how much money did you make doing that?
$150 some dollars, I think.
And you could get a car for that?
Yeah, the car didn't sell for what, $500 new.
Right.
Won't much to him either.
Did it run good?
He run all right.
Did you know how to work on it?
Yeah, I always had to work on them.
Yeah.
Worked on them all the time.
I used to, Ruth and I used to spend our summers with Mama's sisters. And one of her sisters lived on, what was that big place?
Cherrydale.
Cherrydale was one of them that my grandmother lived. We stayed with her. But then one of Mama's sisters lived in a place that's a big horse farm there, way up the country. But it was a real pretty old place. And it was a great big old home up there. And we used to love to go up there and stay in the summers. We'd stay a week at a time.
Yeah.
She's had children about our age. And we used to go up to Rocket's Mill. It's a big horse farm.
So it's still there?
Yeah, but it was a beautiful old home and we're right on down to the river. And we used to love to go there and stay.
So they worked on the farm? They didn't own it, they worked
No,
on
they
it?
worked for somebody and lived
On,
at
like
that
sharecropping, I
place.
mean, they took
Yeah,
care of
that
it.
place, So, and then we stayed with my grandmother. That was Cherrydale was the name of that farm. That was up near Daweswell.
That was up right at the Berry Farm.
So what did they do that she worked on? How come you got to stay there?
Now they worked for somebody,
Right, okay.
but they lived at this home.
Right.
But they worked a farm
Right.
for someone else.
They operated the farm. They had help together, but they managed these farms.
And they used to have the best watermelons and cantaloupes. They raised them, and oh, they would be so good. So we loved to stay there.
Right.
We used to go there every summer.
You know, when I went to Sunday school, We live about 3 and 5 miles from school. And they drove a horse and buggy. And the men went up there and built a place to keep the horses in the stalls. Just one stall for each horse. Everybody had their own stall
At church.
At church.
at
Uh-huh.
church.
So you kept your when you just go to church, you just keep your horse in the stall.
Yeah, unhook a horse, put him in a stall. Especially if it was bad weather.
So what church was that? Baptist church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
Right.
always y'all always go to Baptist churches?
No, church I went to was a Christian church, and that was a big old church, and they had stoves, big pot-belly stoves, one on each side of the church, and that's how we kept warm, with those big stoves, and they'd have to go on Sunday morning, you know, and start the fire and heat it up, and you kind of had to stay around those big stoves to stay warm.
So when did they get electricity?
Oh, sure.
Way long time.
They didn't have electricity when we was married.
We had, at my home, we had Delco light.
They had Delco lights up at church.
And at church, when you started going, yeah. Floyd joined the church, you know, my church, the Christian church, while
Right.
he was going with me.
Right.
He joined church up there. And he was Sunday school teacher, Sunday school superintendent. He was a deacon up there.
Right. He was popular at that
Yeah,
church. What
he
church was
very
that?
popular up my church.
What was the name of that church?
It was Ground Squirrel at that time, but now they changed the name to Calvary.
Oh, okay.
But they built a nice little brick church there. But that was an old church. I reckon was built during the Civil War. I don't know where they got the name Ground Squirrel. But that's what it was called, Ground Squirrel. And it stayed like that for many years. And then one of the preachers that came decided he didn't like that name. So he changed it to Calvary. So now it's known as Calvary Christian Church.
How did y'all keep y'all's food cold in the summer?
We had an ice house back. It was a place dug in the ground, deep like a well, a big place, over 50 loads of ice, wagon loads of ice.
Yeah.
Put the ice in there to keep all summer.
So it didn't melt in the summer at all? I mean, it kept.
We'd take the ice out. We had an ice box at home. That was my job. Went up every morning and got ice and carried home, put in the ice box.
What did y'all have, Nanny?
I don't know what we had. How we kept it?
I'll tell you how they kept most of it. That well was dug, had a wall around it.
Oh, yeah.
And you let it down by a bucket and set it on that shelf down in there.
Down into the well.
Ground,
and
so
it
the
was
ground would keep it
cool
cold.
Yeah, cool down there. Yeah. When we were first married, we used to get ice. They'd bring ice to your house.
Right,
And you had an ice box, you'd put the ice in.
right.
No electric in there. You just put the ice in the ice box.
Where did Mama go to school? Where was her elementary school?
Everywhere there was a school.
Because y'all moved, so she went to lots of different schools?
But she went to Fox School to start with. Then she went to Hill. And she come back to Richmond. Out here, she went to Dumbarton. And then she went to Lakeside.
She went to Moody.
Went to Moody and then Glen Island.
And Grinnell.
Can't I'll wash these plates.
Yeah, you do good washing those plates, Granny.
There's some more stuff popping in
I got more than that thing over there.
Everybody get enough supper?
I think everybody got plenty, Granny.
We owe you some money.
No, this is fine. It's on me.
It took all day for them to put my furnace in. I thought that was long enough.
They don't have much room to work around to put Mama's in. It's probably really hard because there's no room in that little place.
I know.
Y'all's furnace you can get around.
They had plenty of room downstairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're done.